Inside every modern internal combustion engine, a powerful and controlled explosion happens inside the cylinder. Temperatures can exceed 700 degrees Celsius. Pressures rise to extreme levels. And this happens thousands of times per minute in every engine. Two engine types dominate this process, gasoline and diesel. Same principle, completely different execution. At the heart of both engines lies the same mechanism, the four-stroke cycle. First, the intake stroke begins. Next, the piston rises in the compression stroke. Then comes the power stroke. And finally, the exhaust stroke. This cycle is identical in structure. But the way fuel ignites changes everything. Gasoline engines rely on a precise spark ignition to start the combustion. Diesel engines rely on compression ignition to power the vehicle. And the difference begins with one key factor: compression ratio. Gasoline engines operate with moderate compression, typically an 8:1 to 12.1 ratio. It all starts with the intake stroke. As the piston moves downward, a pre-mixed air-fuel mixture enters the cylinder. Next is the compression stroke. The piston moves upward, compressing the mixture and raising the temperature to about 200 to 300 degrees Celsius. Not enough for self-ignition. At peak compression, the ignition system activates. The spark plug generates a spark, powered by an ignition coil boosting voltage up to 40,000 volts, all precisely timed by the ECU. In the power stroke, the spark ignites the mixture, and the explosion pushes the piston downward with immense force. Finally, the exhaust stroke. Burnt gases are expelled, the cycle repeats, and the engine continues its work. How diesel engines work: four-stroke and injection. Diesel engines operate at much higher compression, with ratios between 14 to 1 and 25 to 1. In the intake stroke, only air enters. It is then compressed intensely, with temperatures rising up to 700 degrees Celsius. Next, high-pressure injectors spray diesel fuel directly into the hot air at up to 2,500 bar. Under this extreme pressure, the fuel ignites instantly. This process is known as auto-ignition. Finally, the exhaust gases exit, and the four-stroke cycle repeats. Beyond the cycle, these engines are built with key mechanical differences. Gasoline engines use spark plugs, ignition coils, and lighter pistons for operation. Diesel engines require high-pressure pumps and heavy-duty blocks to handle massive internal pressures. Horsepower versus fuel mass. Fuel matters too. Diesel fuel has a higher energy density, meaning more energy per liter. This means diesel engines produce more work per unit of fuel mass. Gasoline engines burn fuel faster but provide less energy per unit. The result? Diesel offers more efficient energy extraction while gasoline provides faster energy release. Next, let's talk horsepower versus weight. Gasoline engines have a higher power-to-weight ratio. They are lighter for faster acceleration. Diesel engines are heavier and better for pure strength. Finally, the efficiency and compression relation. A higher compression ratio equals higher efficiency. More compression leads to higher temperatures, better combustion, and more usable energy. Gasoline is limited by engine knocking, but diesel engines use high compression as a major advantage. This is the final verdict: petrol versus diesel. Comparison starts now. Both engines follow the same four-stroke cycle. But everything else changes. Gasoline, spark ignition, lightweight, high speed. Diesel, compression ignition, heavy duty, high efficiency. So next time you hear an engine running, remember, inside air is being compressed, fuel is igniting under extreme heat, and thousands of controlled explosions are being converted into motion, built with precision, power, and engineering excellence. If you enjoyed this breakdown and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into how things work. This is Different Zone, where we break it down so you understand it better.